we can get going. All right. Do you want me to just go?
Just go.
All right. Here we go. Here we go. Reintroductions. Most of us don't need any introduction. We're missing Dawn Fiala today, but she's on vacation. So Annette, go ahead.
Hello, everybody. I know most of you. My name's Annette Ziegler. I have been with ASN over a year and a half now.
Yay.
Time flies when you're having fun. I teach the sales training classes. I love it. I'm so glad you're here.
Yeah. I guess I'll go next. I'm Lisa Marcellet. I have been here for almost 3 years, which I was just telling someone the other day. Whoa, seemed like I just blinked. But I love home care. I've been in home care for a really long time. I've worn every single hat imaginable, and I like being on this side, watching your journey, helping you guys through everything. Hello and welcome.
And I'm Valerie Van Boeven. I'm a registered nurse and the founder and co-owner of Approved Senior Network. These ladies are the experts in sales training and home care sales that are in person. And they also know a lot about other things too, but my nerdy self is into the online marketing piece. And that's where this whole company started. So I'm going to do the presentation today. They let me talk once in a while, and I'm going to talk to you about your website. Housekeeping, just mute your line if you're not talking. Just go ahead and mute it, because you never know when somebody's going to say hi or step in your office. Or I always use the McDonald's drive-through stories that we hear. Anyway, so yeah, mute your line. Share stories, experiences, tips. We want to hear from you. We want to know what questions you have. We want to know what you want to know about. It might not be websites, but it might be something else on your mind that you want to know about. And so please let one of these ladies know so they can put it into one of our 2 times a month meetings. Okay, free giveaway. Let's talk free giveaway. One of you guys knows more about that than I do.
Annette, what are we giving away?
We are going to give away December leave behinds because it's almost the middle of October.
Can you believe that?
We gave away the November last time. So I think we're going to give December leave behind. So it gives you, whoever wins, a chance to get everything together. If you are interested in being included in the customized leave behinds for December, in the chat box, put yes, and we will put your name in a hat and we're going to pick a winner. But you have to promise when you do the leave behinds, when we make them for you, that you go out and market with them and send us pictures. We want to see you out there. I think we're actually even sharing somebody's October leave behinds today.
And
Super in the chat box, and we will let you know if you're a winner.
Yeah, just put yes in the chat there.
I'm getting a lot of yeses, so we're good.
Woo-hoo.
All
right. So on the agenda today, your website is leaking leads. Totally. I know it is. 2026 landscape, families, referral partners, and AI search engine stuff, the anatomy of a home care homepage that converts, service pages, SEO, and AI search. All this sounds really complicated, but I'm going to break it down for you. Lead capture tools that actually get filled out. Trust signals, reviews, caregiver spotlights, outcomes, the 30-day sprint, what's your content plan, AI and SEO. We get asked about the AI search part of this more and more from you smart people out there. So we're going to talk a little bit about that today, and Q&A, and then we're going to go through October, November, and December leave behinds so that you guys can plan ahead. So we always try to do leave behinds a few months in advance so that you have time to order stuff, get it all put together, and go out and do some marketing. All right. So from the title of this week was From Pretty to Profitable, Fixing Your Home Care Website in 2026. So we're in the final quarter of 2025. So of course, we're looking ahead to 2026 and thinking about websites. So the recommendation is that you can transform your home care website from a digital brochure, which actually, when I started this business, everybody was just pretty much putting what they had on a brochure online. And that was it. Websites were, now they're interactive, they're lead generating, and you want to go that route. Your website should not be a second thought. It should be a piece of your marketing budget that complements what you're doing out there in the field. So everything you do in the field should be reflected in the website that you have. So let's keep going here. Your website is leaking leads. The hard truth. Every day, families are desperately searching for care. They land on your website and leave without contacting you. That's true. Referral partners visit your site. Yes, they do. Those social workers, those directors of nursing, you got to know they're going to look at your website at some point. Referral partners visit your site and choose your competitor instead. Your beautiful website is actually costing you business. Most home care websites were built to look good, not to convert visitors into clients. In 2026, that's a luxury you can't afford. It's actually one you haven't been able to afford in the last several years, but here we are. So I put so we let AI create these pictures. Look at that terrible look on this woman's face. This is not a real picture.
They're confused.
She's so
trying to
distraught.
soak it all up.
She looked at your website and she was like, "Whoa, this sucks." I'm kidding. I don't know. Anyway, it's great what AI actually comes up with. On the left-hand side of your screen or whatever, the blue is a website that we just created that is not leaking leads. And it's so happy. And I love the look of this website. So I used it and I just talked to the owner on the phone. So I love them even more. But to look at this happy caregiver with her dog, or not happy caregiver, happy senior with her dog. I love this. Keep that in mind as you're looking at your own website. Happiness trumps caregiver helping senior. We still do that a lot, but this website is not leaking leads. So let's keep going and see what's going on. How families really find care. You guys know this better than I do. It's always in a crisis. Usually 90% of the time is going to be a crisis. Some people plan ahead. Most people are doing this in crisis. So family realizes they need help after a fall, a hospitalization, or a gradual decline. Emotions are high, time is short, and they're overwhelmed by options. They're either sitting in the hospital learning that discharge is today, or they are at home thinking, what in the world are we going to do? Mom fell and we don't feel comfortable with her being home alone. And it's always an emergency. Mobile first search. They try on their phones while they're at the hospital, in the car, or late at night. Your website needs to work flawlessly on mobile, or you're going to be eliminated immediately. That is no doubt. No doubt. Build your website for mobile first search. Google's told us in 2018, it's all about mobile, people. If you're not building for mobile, you're going to be left in the dust. So if you're wondering why your website's not showing up on a Google search on the first page, second page, or any page, maybe it's showing up way, way far away. It could be because it's too slow to load on mobile. Quick credibility check. They spend 12 seconds scanning for trust signals, reviews, certifications, caregiver photos, and clear pricing information. No second chances. Now, I know for a fact that you guys are not probably going to put pricing information on your website because that would be the joy of every competitor that you have. However, having a little explanation on how they can get pricing, which means a phone call usually, is a great idea. So you have less than a second for your site to load, maybe 1 second for your site to load. And then once that's loaded, bing, bang, boom, you need to make sure that you have your phone number and easy information right at the top. 12 seconds is probably even too long. Contact decision. If you pass the credibility test, they need an easy way to reach you immediately. Forms, phone numbers, and chat options must be optional and must be obvious and functional, not optional. If you look at any of the websites we create, you will see that immediately. Phone numbers at the top, sometimes more than one, depending on how many offices they have. You will see a contact us right at the top, and you will see a chat open up on mobile and on desktop. So super important. Those things, those interactive abilities need to be there, especially on mobile.
Yeah.
Referral. You guys doing okay? Any questions?
Yeah, sorry. No.
That's okay. Referral partners are evaluating you online. You better believe it. I've been a discharge planner in my nursing life, and it was a long time ago. So websites weren't even as much of a thing, but you better believe I was going to look them up online before I referred. If your website looks like doo-doo, or it looks like Cousin Eddie made it in 2002, then There's no way. You're not supposed to judge a book by its cover. Guess what? Every day, all day, you're being judged by the look of your website. Hospital discharge planners, social workers, and care coordinators research agencies online before making referrals. I don't know how much research they actually have time to do, but I will tell you that they will go and look at your website at some point. So it needs to look nice in that moment when they decide to look at your website. They're looking for professionalism, reliability, and evidence that you can handle their clients. They're checking for a professional website. Even if they don't really know this, they want to make sure your website looks professional, it's up to date, clear service descriptions, staff credentials, training information, testimonials come up over and over again. You should really have some testimonials on the homepage of your website. It doesn't have to be right at the top, but it needs to be very close to the top of your homepage. You can have a whole page of testimonials somewhere, but you need to definitely have a few right at the top. Easy referral process and contact methods. There should be no doubt how they can hit the button and contact you. You can see on this website, get started, our locations, phone number, contact us, careers, it's all right there. And if you were to squish this website together like a phone version, then you would see exactly that. Get started, phone number, locations, the web chat. You can see the chat down here on the right. All of that still stays there, it just is in a little bit different format. An amateur website signals, what does it say? Amateur. That's crazy. An amateur website signals amateur care. In 2026, your website is your professional reputation. That's so true. Not only that, but your LinkedIn profile is also your professional reputation. Not on this list for this webinar, but clean it up. LinkedIn is so important for you guys professionally. Please go in and make it beautiful. So don't have an amateur website. Take that when you own a business and you're running a business, you should have a set amount of marketing dollars to spend on digital marketing. And of course, most importantly, your in-person sales and networking stuff. But that piece that you have set aside cannot be website tonight, $99. I'll do it myself and put a little form on it and a couple of stock photos that have been used thousands of times and let it go. It needs to be something you've thought about. Your messaging is correct. Look at what this says on this homepage, where trusted care meets the comfort of home, backed by 20 years of experience. And that is no joke. If you read the rest of it, those words were carefully thought and carefully considered by the home care agency owners and leadership. All right, so let's talk a little bit about AI. AI search engines are changing everything. I bet everybody on this call has probably used ChatGPT or Google AI, or even if you didn't intend to, I bet you Google has answered your question in an AI like search piece at the very top of the page. I know on mobile, you can go straight to, I think on desktop too now, you can go straight to AI mode, which means you can just type in what you're looking for. It'll give you what you want. It'll talk to you about, not talk to you. You can chat back and forth with it and get whatever you need. So AI is definitely going to make the search engines behave differently. It already has, and it's only going to get more intense as time goes on. Families will ask, what's the best home care agency near me? And your website content needs to answer that question, or you will not be in the AI search. So I know some of you have found us through AI. And what I hear is that sometimes people will type in home care sales training or sales training for home care agencies. And when they do that, AI brings up several options. It talks about us in there. I don't know if it's every time, every day, everywhere, but it does definitely contribute to how people have found us. I know Annette has heard that quite a bit. And Annette, you've heard people say that they found us in AI search, right?
Yes, I love it.
I know. It's so cool. And I think that what we need to know is if somebody really is using Google to search, they might type in home care near me. But most of if in the history of running this business, we have looked at thousands and thousands of search queries that have come through, and what has led to someone going to a website and actually taking an action. And it's not just the word home care. It is 1,000 different things. People don't know what to type in because they're not in this business. They don't use the word home care all the time. Sometimes they'll say something like a sitter for my elderly mother, a sitter service for seniors. They'll use all kinds of weird analogies or things to describe what they're looking for. So it's not just the words home care. And often, even if they're looking for non-medical home care, as you all know, they confuse that and they type in home health care because they don't know that means medical and they don't know all of that. And they don't care, frankly. So they're typing in more than what you think to search for care. And that's when AI comes in. So if we look at all the different questions that people also ask is on Google, and we put that kind of content on your website, then AI search will pick it up and you'll be part of the answer. You want to be part of the answer in your local area. Okay, so let's talk about voice search optimization. And I'm not going to say her name out loud because I'm all apples here and she'll answer us. Hey, blah, blah, find home care for mom. I don't know if SIRI is actually capable of doing that. They'll probably give you a few answers. It would be interesting to test that. But I will tell you that not only Amazon's Alexa, I also have her sitting over here, all of them have evolved and they will give you some weird answers and some good answers. I think they work better for pizza and restaurants and plumbers, but it's all coming for home care. Featured snippets. Google's answer boxes are prime real estate. That's true. I just talked about people also ask. If you look on a search page of Google, there'll be a section there that say people also ask. And the number one question that people ask typically is how much does home care cost? You need to answer that question on your website somewhere. And you don't have to give them the exact hourly rate because let's be real, you don't know what the exact hourly rate's going to be because you haven't talked to them yet. Maybe you do have a set hourly rate, but in some cases, people need more than others. They're a higher acuity. They are a couple instead of just one person. So the hourly rate is variable. And most people don't want to put that on their website because there's no way to know until you talk to somebody and do an assessment. But you can answer the question with those kinds of answers. You don't have to give the actual hourly rate. You can say, it depends on this and this. Call us and we can give you a more specific answer. So agencies that optimize for AI search will dominate local markets. We can't get away from it. It's not going away. It's always going to be here. It's going to get better and better all the time. So please know that the content on your website is important. And it's also important that it's fresh content. AI prefers fresh content over old, 2-year-old, stale, yucky content that is completely outdated. Okay, the anatomy of a home care homepage that converts. Let me pull back up. Well, I can't do that here. We just looked at what's on your screen is obviously AI, and it didn't do a very good job. That's so weird. Anyway, hero section that connects. Lead with emotion and outcome. Helping mom stay home safely beats professional home care services. That's true. Include a clear call to action button and phone number above. So I'll just hit escape out of this presentation. So let's just go back. Wing, wing, there she is. All right, so trusted care meets the comfort of home. Definitely not a stodgy statement. This is one that this could be your mom. She doesn't look like she needs care there, but she definitely looks happy and she's got her little dog and she wants to stay in her home. So this is the kind of hero image. Hero section means the top section of your website. That's what you're looking for. All right, trust signals front and clear. Display your best Google reviews. Yes, licensing information. More and more states are requiring that your license number is on all of your marketing materials. This is not for every state, but Florida, Connecticut, California, I don't know, maybe New York, a lot of them are requiring that you have that license on your marketing materials, including your website. So it doesn't have to be right at the top, but it needs to be somewhere on the page. and on every page. So we put it in the footer. Years in business is very helpful. If you've been in business for 20 years, tell everyone you've been in business for 20 years. Photos of real caregivers. Now, with names and credentials, I don't know if that's necessary. You could just use initials. Some people do not want their full name on the web, and I totally agree. Plus, what if the caregiver quits? What are you going to do? So,
Right.
caregiver credentials is fine, maybe initials or first name only, something like that. Service preview with benefits. Don't just list services, explain the outcomes. So personal care becomes maintaining dignity and independence with compassionate personal care. Well, that's a lot, but yes, you can definitely use titles like that. Some people don't know what personal care is. In fact, I would imagine that if you asked every one of us on this call, we would define it differently. For me, as a registered nurse who grew up knowing exactly what personal care is, I can tell you it's bathing, grooming, dressing, transferring, feeding. I list you the 6 ADLs, activities of daily living, that covers. But other people will throw in medication reminders, light meal preparation, and all kinds of other stuff. So just explain what you mean by personal care. Multiple contact options. Yes, we talked about this already. Phone, form, buttons, a chat. Do it all. Have the phone number clickable from your website, not a static phone number. It has to be clickable. All right. Stop me, ladies, if there's any questions or anybody's hollering at me.
Not yet. Not yet. You're good.
All right. Service pages. This is your SEO goldmine. Yes, ma'am. So in the past, we saw and built, in fact, in the last, not recently, but in years past, we put a website together and there was one page that listed all the services. And you might find that's how your website is. There's like a bulleted list of companion care, personal care, hospital home transition, dementia home care, Alzheimer's care. Blah, blah, blah. It's just a bulleted list. And that is done. You will never, ever rank in a million gazillion years if that's all you're doing. Every single service needs a robust page. It should be comprehensive. It should have resources. It should answer questions. So if you looked at a website we created recently, you would see every service page at the bottom has frequently asked questions that refer to that service. So if it's a dementia home care page, it talks about the frequently asked questions about dementia home care at the bottom. And so you're trying to be very helpful. Not only does your consumer appreciate that, but also your AI and your SEO and your search engines all appreciate that. Detailed service descriptions with outcomes. We still are talking about pricing transparency, again, without the hourly rate. Insurance that you take, if you take any, most don't if they're non-medical. But you can talk about long-term care insurance, private pay. If you're part of the CCN network through the VA, aid and attendance, you can talk about all those things. Caregiver qualifications for that service. Do your caregivers get more training for Alzheimer's and dementia care? Talk about it. Client success stories and testimonials, put them on there. You can change all the names, change the story a little bit, but let people know what an example of a success is. The frequently asked questions and next steps. What do I need to do? If I read this page, what do I need to do to get started or to talk to somebody? That should be all throughout that page. So service pages are a big deal. We're talking about at least 1,000 words, if not 2,000, depending on the service. All right. Speaking the language of AI search. Look at all this crazy stuff over here. Question-based content, structure content around actual questions family ask. How do I know if mom needs home care? Perfect. That is a perfect blog post. What's the difference between companion care and personal care? Perfect. How much does 24-hour care cost? Yes. Yes, you should be answering all those questions in blog posts, on pages. Conversational keywords, optimized for natural language. Home care agencies near me that accept insurance instead of home care insurance. Think about how people talk to AI assistants. They're going to be talking to them just like they would type it in. How much does home care cost in Sacramento, California?
Hi, Annette. Sorry to interrupt you. This is Sam. You're throwing a lot of good content at us. And I can't help but be and wonder, right? Is it possible to schedule time with you at some point to do a quick audit of our website? to see if it's consistent with these best practices, if it's all up to date, please?
Yes, there is an AI audit option on our main website at asnhomecaremarketing.com. You can fill that out, or you can go to support and submit a request for an AI audit.
Okay. Good
I'm
call.
putting the link in the chat for you, asnhomecaremarketing.com.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
For sure.
And now that we've been credentialed by Medicare will now provide skilled nursing service and all of that and have commercial payers. I just want to be sure that it's still consistent with everything.
Okay, yeah,
Right.
sure. If you have a website, if we've created it and it needs to be updated.
Yes,
then-
you guys created our website. Yeah.
Who is
So-
this? Is this Sam who?
Sam.
This is Sam Siebel with Family First
Okay.
Healthcare Services.
Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can definitely have work done on your website and consult with us on what that would cost to add more content or add things or whatever it is that you might
Okay.
need. Absolutely. All right.
Sounds good.
Thank you. Back
Thank
to the
you.
presentation here.
Thank you.
Let's see, local context. AI needs geographic context. So if you look at any of the websites that we've built, you'll notice that we talk about the local area a lot. The towns that you service, the counties that you service. Towns are way more important than counties. Even if you think the county is important, that's not how people search for care. They want to know about home care in Manchester, Missouri. They don't care about home care in St. Louis County, Missouri, because St. Louis County is gigantic. They want to know in their little town, in their little speck of the world, if you provide home care there. So towns always trump counties. You can list all of it, but if you're going to talk about it, you want to definitely talk about the towns that you service. And you may have 500 towns, but you just pick the big ones that you really like. So this one says serving families in Westfield, Summit, and surrounding Union County communities. That looks perfect. And you can list many towns there. And we do that on every website. All right, lead capture tools that actually work. So a care assessment scheduler is the first thing on this list. And I don't know, we have had clients ask us to put a calendar on their website so people could schedule their own assessment or their own conversation. And I can't say that actually works very well. People don't know what they need, and they don't know if they need an assessment in their house. They don't even know what an assessment is. So a care assessment phone call would be good, and not to make them schedule it, but to fill out the form to allow you to call them and schedule that or email them back or whatever. Valuable content offers. And we've always loved this, sometimes we do it by pop-up, sometimes by a button, home safety checklist, questions to ask any home care agency in exchange for contact information. I'll tell you that really works well, especially if you want to try something like Facebook ads. It is not an instant lead generator. I will tell you that's not how it works. But if you wanted to increase the number of people who are receiving your newsletter every month, increase the number of people who are in your email drip campaign, which you should have set up, if you wanted to do that, then you could set up these kinds of things on your website or so you fill out a form and bam, they're emailed that questions to ask or that safety checklist. And I don't even know that safety checklists are really that good of a giveaway. It's really more about the things you should know before you start. Those kinds of, I guess, PDFs or whatever are way more important to people. Intelligent chat widgets. So we have a couple of different widgets that we've used. One is an AI-powered chat, which takes some time. These are not magical, as you can see by my pictures. AI is not that magical yet. But you can have AI-powered chat that will answer basic questions. The important piece of that is that you test it before you put it on your website and make sure it's answering questions right. And you should be able to test it without it being on your website and make sure it's learning from the right place. So when we have a client request AI-powered chat, we usually create a document. And that document is the only place that AI-powered chat can get answers. So it learns off that document. We can add to the document, we can take stuff off, we can change it, but it has to learn from that document. The problem with turning it loose on saying you can answer by learning my website or the pages on my site is that there's some words or some content or something on your website that maybe people can't even see anymore. And it picks that up and it gives some wild, crazy answer from 2002. So we usually use a document for that. And that does work pretty well. But you have to know that if somebody is really having a conversation with AI, there needs to be a person not watching it, but available to call that person back when they're done having that conversation. You need to be able to respond quickly. We also have the chat widgets on our sites that are not AI. They are, you put in your information, you put in your question, and you hit send, and that directly goes to the home care agency owner, marketer, whoever's in the office person, whoever needs to answer that, it goes to them instantly. And that way they can call you right back. Click to call buttons. Every website should have the phone number clickable or a button that says click to call now. And on the desktop, it doesn't work very well unless you have something else set up to call out from your desktop. But on the phone, it matters very much. So be sure that your phone numbers are clickable. All right, the foundation of conversion, reviews and testimonials that matter. Absolutely. Absolutely. If you are behind on reviews, I'll still say this. It's hard to get home care reviews sometimes. Frankly, because somebody who calls you right now and is super happy, they love Mary the caregiver, and my mom loves Mary the caregiver. We're very happy. Mary's awesome. Tomorrow, when Mary is 10 minutes late, I'm going to be pissed. Yeah. So catching somebody for a review is right now. If I'm happy, say, hey, would you mind? I would love to get a review from you if you're happy right now. And send that review form to them while you're on the phone. Now is the time to get that.
That's sweet spot.
Tomorrow is going to be a different story. 2 days from now, not going to do it. So please make sure you're getting those reviews. As soon as you know someone's in love with the caregiver and they are so happy, bam, it's time. But yes, more Google reviews. If you're in a place where people love Yelp, I'm not a big Yelp fan, but some people love Yelp. Some parts of the country are more into Yelp than others. And that's okay. Make sure you get some good Yelp reviews. They do show up in AI search results, and they do show up in Google search results. So be sure to get Yelp and Google. If you want to ignore Yelp completely, that's okay too. Care.com, caring.com, those get picked up in AI search results, whichever, I think it's caring.com, most home care agencies might use. Those are good places to get reviews as well. And then just having some on your website that aren't on Google or anywhere else is okay. People write emails, they send cards, letters. Those are okay too. Those work good. All right. Let me know if anybody has any questions. Caregiver spotlights. This is something we've talked about for 20 years with our clients, 18 years. Definitely need to have caregiver of the month, caregiver celebrations. Birthdays are great. Employment anniversaries are great, but the real deal is recognizing a caregiver. And I used to say this, and I don't know how many people still do it, because I know caregivers don't come into the office all the time. Presenting them with a little spring bouquet of flowers, not expensive. You can probably get them at Walgreens, and a gift card. And that beautiful person is going to stand there with that beautiful bouquet of flowers. There's no way they can't smile. They're going to be overjoyed that you recognize them as caregiver of the week, the month, the year, whatever it is. Make sure you're recognizing them and put it on your social media and put it on your blog and put it everywhere. Make sure it's highlighted on your... People want to know that you're treating your caregivers well. So when you do that and you show them that you love your caregivers and your clients, that is definitely going to go over really well. So the more pictures of caregivers in action, caregivers being celebrated, the better. Absolutely. Okay, data-driven trust building. Generic claims about quality care mean nothing. Families want proof that you deliver results. Share specific outcomes while respecting privacy. If you do your own client satisfaction surveys, which you can certainly do, we have a system that'll let you send out surveys to current clients or family members. see what it comes back with. There are companies out there that will do this for you. You can hire someone to send out surveys, to make phone calls, and we see that all the time. So if there is something you can do to get some client satisfaction surveys done, or make sure that even a caregiver satisfaction and caregiver retention. So all of that is possible. It's just a matter of you taking the time to really find out what's going on and be okay with having some negative results. There's always room to improve. Hospital readmission prevention, that is something that you can measure anytime, but you have to ask the right questions. If you're a non-medical home care agency and you know that you just started services for Wanda, and Wanda just got home from the hospital and she had pneumonia in the hospital, and she's a little weak and she needs some help getting around the house. Maybe she's got a little dementia too. If you can show my doctor's office, my hospital, my rehab, that you kept Wanda out of the hospital for 30 days, then I love you. So if the diagnosis was pneumonia, and you were able to send caregivers out to the house, make sure she was doing her breathing treatments, make sure she was taking her medicine, and make sure that she was eating right, and you keep her out of the hospital, then that is wonderful. Every time you can show case study where you kept Wanda out of the hospital for whatever reason, that's something you should be showing your referral sources. The skilled facilities, rehabs, hospitals, doctors' offices all care about that. They get in trouble, they get dinged when somebody readmits over and over again for pneumonia or congestive heart failure or diabetes or anything. So just make sure you know the diagnosis and keep track of how long they stay out of the hospital, and you're good. All right, 30-day website sprint. Here's your action plan. Take an audit of your current website. Have you installed Google Analytics? Do you know what's going on with your website? How many people come to it? Look at existing testimonials, caregiver photos. Have you done all that? Is an up-to-date website? Does it look good to other people? Ask other people, how do you think this looks? Someone who's not your mom. Ask somebody else. Set up your Google business profile if you haven't. If you haven't done that by now, oh my goodness, come on. Content creation. You need to make sure that all the content, the static pages, the blog posts, all relate together and they all connect to one another and they all really help your SEO grow. Trust elements, reviews, outcome dashboards, lead capture forms, chat functionality, and make sure you look at your website on your mobile phone. If it's too slow to load for you, it's too slow to load for me as well. We can test that. We can see how fast your website's loading. AI optimization. Structure content for featured snippets. Remember, people also ask is your key to that. Add conversational keywords. Schema markup is the code behind the scenes that you don't see. We put all that in there, but a lot of web developers, if they don't do SEO, they don't know about that, or they don't do it because it's not part of their service. Make sure all of that's added. Okay. Technical strategy. Success in 2026 requires SEO and AI optimization. Search engines are using AI to understand content, while families are using AI to research care options. I already talked about some of this. Frequently asked questions is a really good one. There needs to be some schema markup, that code I just talked about, behind that page so that AI can read it better. If you have frequently asked questions on the forward-facing, on the consumer-facing side of your website, you also need to have that code on there, a special code behind the scenes that tells Google and other AIs, hey, these are frequently asked questions. Long-form content, answering complex questions, voice search optimization with natural language, and local SEO with neighborhood-specific content. If you are at an event in Manchester, Missouri, at a nursing home in Manchester, Missouri, and you do a health fair or you do some kind of fun activity with the residents there, and you want to talk about the nursing home in Manchester, Missouri, where you were the other day, and take some pictures and add some content to your site that talks about Manchester, Missouri. That'll help tremendously. All right, stop losing leads. Start with mobile. Make sure everything works right on mobile. Add all those trust signals, the reviews, the caregiver photos, the credentials, and optimize for 2026. AI search is here already, and you're going to find that people will find you from AI search in the next year or so more often than from Google search. And you're going to start hearing that more and more. Your website is your 24/7 sales team, your credibility validator, and your competitive advantage. So you want it to work as hard as you do. The families in your community need you, so make sure they can find you, trust you, and contact you when it matters the most. Oh, and that's it for me.
Oh my goodness. All right. Thank you.
Good
Thank you.
information. Thanks, Valerie. Okay.
Any questions or anything? I don't see
Any
any questions, so I guess we can.
Woohoo! I'm just flying.
Okay, so we have our sales training dates. We actually just added November and December, but I
Mhm.
still have availability for the October 16th and October 28th class, but we have them booked through the end of the year. If I know I have a lot of the class members here at the Mastery today, but if you have any interest in the sales training, please reach out to me. It works. It's 12 weeks, once a week, via an hour. We've had much success. We tell you what to say, what to do, hold your hand through the whole process, and we see a lot of successes. Let us know if you're interested.
Yeah.
Woohoo! Notice
All right.
notice the
Oop.
rebrand. Notice the rebrand. We
Yeah,
can
now
Oh,
we
yeah.
go
Talk
Go
right.
Care Pro.
We have
You're a
some
Care
new
Pro.
exciting
You're out there.
information that's going to be coming out very soon. So
Go get more Care Pro. You're a
Yeah.
pro. And that's it. That's the last slide.
okay.
We
We
made
are-
it.
Thanks, everybody.
All right.
See you all later.
See you in 2 weeks.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.